People are experiencing a big wake-up moment right now, and we see millions of people out in the streets like we haven't seen in generations. I think people feel like they have been thrown under the bus, and this is when people become very susceptible to demagogues and to fascism. This is how fascism has always arisen, when people are very economically stressed and they've lost faith in our social institutions and our institutions of government. Then you get big manipulators like Donald Trump who can connect with people emotionally. So in many ways, it is the policies of the Democrats that have actually given rise to this right-wing extremism that we see now under Donald Trump.
Somebody who was being attacked by the Trump people and on the ground, and as I ran towards it, I hit a cloud of pepper spray, and some comrades dragged me away and gave me first aid, and now here I am.
Right. They're throwing bombs at us. They're throwing glass candles at us.
Right. They're literally throwing bombs at us.
They were grabbing some of our guys. The scuffle started.
I came today prepared for violence from either side. I came with medical bandages, gauze, milk to neutralize pepper spray. I've bandaged both Antifa and Liberty Patriots today.
You're allowing the violence to escalate. It's on you guys for not doing anything except sitting here like cowards.
We're the empathy tent. We offer empathic listening to people. You know, we're trying to get people to have dialogue first, to listen to them, then to bring them into dialogue. Really, the only way forward is listening, empathy, and dialogue. And then, like we say here, it's the basis for people getting together and really addressing what their needs are, and really solving problems. All the people screaming and yelling at each other, they're actually saying, listen to me, and the other side saying, no, listen to me, I want to be heard. So they're both really asking for listening. So there's a deep down, just biological need that we all have to be heard and seen. And so we're trying to, kind of address that for everyone, then also give people the tools of how they can listen to each other. Because if you just start dialoguing, sometimes that can break down. But if you have some rules, some processes, some tools, a facilitator, it can kind of help that process. People can then learn it, they internalize it, and then they can become better listeners in their families, in their communities. So we feel that there needs to be a voice out to stand for that.
We see division and conflict everywhere around the country between the Trump side and the progressive side. So after what we saw and experienced in Berkeley, we decided we needed to take the empathy tent to as many political confrontations as possible. So the next big event we went to was the impeachment march in Los Angeles. We went and actually set up an empathy tent at this rally to offer listening to two sides that were there and have them dialogue with each other and really share how they were feeling about the impeachment issue as well as some other issues as well. So I was really taken that people were really grateful to have this opportunity to dialogue.
We need more dialogue right now because we're all, in some ways, on the verge of a civil war. You know, it could escalate very easily. Somebody could get injured and they become martyrs to either side. You know, and I feel what you're doing here today and what we all can do, what you're doing, speaking to the side, I think it's wonderful. There's definitely a need for that.
Would you like to just share what you heard?
Again, I wish we had more opportunities to speak, and the young man I was speaking to said that the police wouldn't let them cross the street to come to us, approach us, and I was like, oh, well, that's sad. I can understand during the march, but once we're at the location, should be able to come over and kind of like dialogue and talk, because emotions without thought are dangerous, you know.
I guess my greatest fear is that there's a large division within the nation of fundamental differences that people are really not likely to agree on. It's tough because, you know, I have family members that disagree with me, and this country is founded on certain principles, and a portion of that population believes in it one way, and another portion believes in it in another way. And those sides don't look like they're getting along, and it's just come to a boiling point. And I think this has been going on for a long time. It's just the Trump presidency has just been the catalyst for it.
Yeah, I definitely agree with him on also the division of the
Oh, and the vision, you're also concerned about the division in the country.
It seems like our only way of dealing with things is finger pointing and just saying that this specific group of people are problems. And it's on both sides, and it's not getting anywhere.
I agree with plenty of liberal ideas, but there are plenty of, you know, more conservative ideas that I find more reasonable and I find more attractive. Like, for instance, if I say I'm very pro Second Amendment, then somebody will go, oh, so then you're like a right-wing gun nut. And I'm like, well, hold up, no. I'm very much in favor of, like, you know, having more open borders, of, you know, people being able to come into this country and work, you know, legally, obviously. So they go, oh, well, then you're like some kind of libertarian. So you're never just a person.
People aren't seeing you for who you are, and that's like a concern to be seen. So, okay.
Yeah, that's a really good point you're making. This is what I don't like. What's wrong with being a conservative? What's wrong with being a right wing? What is wrong with that? But it's okay for people to be accepted as being liberal, as being a Democrat, as being left. See, this is what I think. See, I could tell in your body language and your voice that you had to defend yourself. Oh, no, I'm not right. Yes. And see, that is wrong. And so what if you are right? Who cares? You know what? At the end, who cares?
I hope that we as a society and just as a movement, we can still keep speaking out against the things he's doing, against our communities and the people that are getting hurt from his actions, from the things he's saying, and from the people motivated by his agenda and by his rhetoric.
So are you saying there's really like deeper problems besides Trump?
Yeah,
there's like real deeper issues and problems that need to be addressed.
Exactly.
Much of my impression of our opposition, or however we would call it, has been YouTube videos of people yelling out propaganda one-liners and stuff like that. It's not often I've seen someone speak out to a length like he just did. So that was pretty good.
I think my fundamental concern with right now with the state of the country where it is that there isn't this type of dialogue happening. Is that we are entering into a society where people are afraid to speak out. And I think that if people are siloed and people only talk to people whom they agree with and whom they already have that same sort of thought process with, then we'll never have improvement to make this country what it really could be.
I think what concerns me the most about our country is that I feel that a portion of the population is making their decisions based on fear, and I feel that that's motivating people's politics, and I don't think it's the strongest, healthiest, or most peace-conducive place to come from.
At this point, to kind of end the conversation, how was the empathic listening, having the person listen to you before you spoke? Did that feel satisfactory at all? Was that helpful in terms of feeling like you were heard?
Yeah, I feel that Spencer is a good listener, even though we totally have different views on this. And I'm pretty sure we'll never see eye to eye on this stuff, but I still got to appreciate his ability and willingness to sit and listen to me and let me listen to him.
It was something I found when we set up at Berkeley too, is going out and offering to do not just listening, but feeling that warmth, that human connection really calms people down. And I hear a lot people say, empathy is for your personal relationships, your family, your friend, but politics is really about greed and selfishness, and it doesn't really fit in there, so don't even bother. But I think the part of the democracy that's working right now is the empathic part. People do talk to each other, or it starts with empathy as the gateway, and then once you understand the needs that people have, the pain that they have, the alienation, that then you can start using logic and reason and find connection. From that connection, they find solutions to their problems. Johann Galtung, he says, peace is resolving conflict with empathy, creativity, and nonviolence, and it's a never-ending task. It's like it never ends. It's like we're always having to do it. So it's not like we're going to solve the problem of this division. It's an ongoing problem solving that we need to do.